Back on Morning Line. Thanks for joining us, Davidson County Sheriff Robert. I almost said Robert Arnold. I'm sorry, I keep saying I've been doing so many stories on Robert Arnold, who's the former sheriff. This is Daron Hall. He's Davidson County. Robert Arnold's the former sheriff in Rutherford County, now behind bars. Anyway, thank you for coming on, Sheriff Hall.
Thank you.
We've got, let's see, I think Ann's on next. Ann, good morning.
Good morning and happy birthday.
Thank you, Ann.
Just a real quick story. My neighbors have often called me the ears, nose, and throat of my street. So several years ago, one of Daron Hall's employees, as a joke, presented me with a very fake metal badge, very fake certificate, and
that's cool.
recognized me as the Inga Street Sheriff.
That is awesome.
Hall needs to deputize you as your station sheriff. It can be done, and I'm living proof.
Oh, thank you, Ann. I knew Ann would come through for me.
Ann, you're qualified.
Yeah, Ann's qualified. She is.
I mean, you don't lower yourself by asking someone to bring the bar down. We can't do that.
Ann is qualified. She watches her neighborhood. She's a great caller, but she has a badge, the lucky dog. But I've got a key to the jail cell, so that's pretty neat. All right, let's go to Anderson. Hi, Anderson. Are you there, Anderson?
Evan.
Oh, I'm sorry. I wrote it down wrong. Go ahead, Evan.
Hey, you talked about saving money.
Yeah.
The time I was in jail, the air conditioning was on, even in the winter. If you want to save money, why are you paying for air conditioning year-round?
I got you.
I'm sorry,
he said the air conditioner runs year-round.
Okay,
why do you do that? Actually, Evan, you don't need the air conditioning in the wintertime. It's hard to heat facilities that are built like that because they're metal. They're not insulated in a great way. But no, it's not the air conditioning. It would be the temperature, as is, by the way, in my office, oftentimes it's very hard to regulate too. So if you were, I think he was saying he was in jail one time in the winter and it felt like the air conditioning was on. That's not intentional, it's not punishment, but it is a, I'm more worried about running an institution like that when it's very hot, trying to keep it cool because the tensions rise. It's a difficult place to run. But it was just probably the outside elements that made it feel like it was the air conditioning.
Now, didn't you say the last facility, though, I mean, just the heat and air was a pain. I mean, it was sweltering sometimes. As best as you could do. Not just the inmates. A lot of people are like, oh, to heck with the inmates, they're in jail, which, you know, you got to treat them humanely, of course, but also the correctional officers.
Staff, right. Yeah, I mean, the buildings that was built in '82 that was torn down, the air, the regulation of the air and the ability to do that was just very poorly designed. We had, you know, you didn't have a lot of outside walls where the cells were built, so it's just a very tough thing. It was very poorly designed, very poorly built, I think. But you know, technology, things improve, life is better. There's a lot going on. This building will be LEED certified, which has a lot of, you know, I think important features to it. There's some solar involved, pretty cool, and there's some things going on that'll make it much better. And I say this all the time. I mean, our staff do more time than the inmates. They matter more to me, not because they're better people, but because that's who work there every day and spend a tremendous amount of their life. I owe them a place that's safe and secure to work, and some place it's hard to recruit to this line of work. And I owe them, and we owe them a good place to go work and do their job. It's tough enough to do the job, and I'm trying to make it where they go to work is not the problem.
You told me about some of the foiled escape plots at the last place. Now, in the history of the old jail, had there been successful escapes?
Yes. Yes.
A couple or a few? I mean,
I was there for since late '80s, '87, '88. I would say actual escapes, probably 10 people. 10
people, and typically would it be sneaking out, hiding in a truck that was delivering, or were they jumping a fence on the outer area?
There were some successful ones that were pretty elaborate. This is embarrassing if you're in my line of work, but we had one at one time that included 3 people, and the joke was that some of them didn't even have legs. There was one who was missing partial of foot, and another one who had faked an injury for months so he could be in a special unit. They actually pulled a vent out of the wall, climbed through the vent, got up in the ceiling, and was able to use some sheets to go over the top and into it, and literally were, as the media reported at some point, they were paraplegic. That wasn't true, but it was a tough, and we had other ones who were able to get in the ceiling duct work and work their way through the building.
Okay, so the new facility, escape-proof?
I would never say that, but I would promise you this. You don't ever think about this?
Well, you're starting with a clean slate. You can say the day that opens, no one has ever escaped from that facility.
Yeah, the first day I can say that. That's true.
Right. Well, then the second day, until the first one happens, you can say no one has ever escaped.
I hope I'm not there when it happens, because we take a lot of pride in doing our job, and that's our job.
But you've looked at, and I sort of part of any design is you've looked at other facilities where escapes have happened, and every time you do, you learn something, and you address that, and it's built into the design of a new facility. Does that come into play or no?
It does, and we've learned a lot. I think we shored up some of the issues that have happened, but I've never been in a building that doesn't bring out something later on, whether an inmate brings it out. Here's something you never thought about. We had an escape one night out of one of our other facilities that was built in '88 or '89 down the road. The guy escaped on Thanksgiving night, ruined my holiday, and I was in here and get down to the bottom of it. We catch him 3 or 4 days later, and he literally the old movies. He had worked his way through a brick old block deal, and there was a ledge on the outside of the building. Bizarre story, but the ledge where he had to land wasn't big enough for your foot. But you would have to know exactly where to go out of the building. There's no way. Just trust me. There's a little ledge. If not, you're going to fall into the street and die. But what happened was, and believe it or not, he built the building.
So he was incarcerated in the building he built.
He
knew exactly
where the.
Still, even that's a huge risk to do what he did. But he knew.
He knew that there would be a landing. So when you get out, so who knows?
Your point is taken. Your point being, if you ever incarcerate the architect who designs the new facility, he could find a way out. Listen, we got to take a break on that. Now that's interesting. We'll take a break. Be back with more in our final segment. More of your phone calls with Davidson County Sheriff Daron Hall right after this. Stay with us. That is.